Well, hello, brothers and sisters. Let's talk about bullies. I never liked bullies. I realized early on if you don't stand up to the bullies, they will keep bullying you more. I was often a new kid in school. My family moved around a lot. And don't you think that the censors from like BoobTube and the fake book fact checkers, that's what they were? They were either bullies in school or they were bullied in school. And now they have this unseen secret, they think, power, which is laughable and nothing because the companies they work for are slowly making themselves obsolete and helping their rivals grow bigger and faster. I mean, Truth Social is exploding and it's a lot of fun. I got cut out of Twitter in the Great Purge, October Purge of 2020, just before the big, voting cheat. And, we need to get rid of those machines that's allowing just a handful of people be bullies and run uh, over freedom and all bunches of us because we let it come in. It's insidious. It was a slow creep and they're evil. I mean, they are evil. They're involved with the pedophiles. They're involved with the child trafficking. They're involved with the party drug. They're involved with all that. And it's disgusting. They're disgusting, and they're like the guards, and on the German death trains that after the war was over, and after World War II, they said we were just following orders. Well, when you're sending people to their death, you can say you're following orders, but you're part of the program that's allowing it to happen. You are guilty. And a lot of them were hung. That's going to happen to a lot of the doctors and nurses that knew better and, you know, toxified people. And they want us to be afraid and not talk the truth. And that's why they remove videos. If you mention certain words, then it triggers their evil AI, which, keeps learning. So you have to be careful and misspell things and cough and be all this foolish stuff. Or, go on to the places that allow free speech. So my last video was taken down by BoobTube. And that reminded me of bullying because I mentioned some facts that we're not supposed to talk about. Okay. So, but it's so ridiculous because, um, you know, there's so many other places to put these. And I have a much bigger following on YouTube and BitChute. So, BoobTube can go pound sand, really. I mean, it is where most of the eyes are right now, but they're losing that. They're going to lose that. Fake book's going to lose it. You know, nobody wants to have to, especially in the United States of America, we don't like having to hold our tongue. We want to be able to speak the truth, even if it hurts your feelings. I'm a very uplifting and loving person, but those scab licking, back munching losers that attack goodly godliness, they attack family values, they attack life, they hate truth, they hate the flag, they hate a husband and wife in a family raising their children, they hate American ideals, they hate freedom. So, of course, when you're over the target, they're going to shut you down. So let's see how this one does. I think I was pretty careful. Even though it's ridiculous, I want to be able to post my complaint, but also keep getting the information out there. So I want to thank you guys. and give me a thumbs up, subscribe, help get the this helps keep the information coming out to people. Uh, so bullies, I stood up to bullies, um, and I wasn't a bully, and I wasn't like particularly looking for trouble. I actually was a bookworm. I loved writing. I loved reading, even in elementary school. But I'd look the bully. If the bully, like say, would come up and punch you on the shoulder, that was how they'd test your reaction to see if they're going to give you more. So I'd look them right in the eye and I'd say, "You don't know me. I've never done anything to you. I don't know you. But I can tell you one thing for sure. I've met enough people like you. And if you lay a finger on me again, I am going to go crazy and I am going to attack you and I'm going to knock you down. I'm going to punch your face in. Otherwise, leave me alone. I'll leave you alone and we'll go about our day and we'll both be better off from it." That usually worked pretty good, but you had to be ready to attack. If they came over and tried to push me or throw something at me or punch me, I did it. I spazzed. I didn't spaz. No, that's not the right word. I saw red. I would see red, like in the cartoon, the bull seeing red. And before I knew it, I'd be on them and I'd be about to punch them. I never had to punch. I just would knock them over. And then they'd be like, "Oh, you're cool. I'm just kidding. You're my buddy." Yeah, they back down fast. Just like these butt munching bastards are going to back down too. Soon as they get revealed, and this is the year for revealing. Now, I know I don't normally talk this way, and it's not, I'm not, I'm really not angry. It's just, it's so ridiculous at this point after 3 years of them trying to lie, and it's actually 30. But the last 3 years were so obvious. They're, you know, they say that we should honor their belief systems, right? And we should hold what they hold to be true in high esteem. And then the only problem is if you disagree with them, they go completely apeshit at you. And that's bullies. That's bullies, folks. Now, I wasn't, like I said, I wasn't a troublemaker. I got good grades. I love learning. I still love learning. I say, no matter how old you are, if you stop learning, you're just waiting to die. And that's a waste of time. We're eternal, but why waste this wonderful experience of touch, feel, taste, think, learn, love, of this earth trip that we get. So the bullies, the only fights I got in generally were if someone didn't believe what I was saying. That was a couple times, and then to defend friends who didn't realize they'd been bullied by the same couple of guys, or could be girls. There are some girls that bullied too. That's a whole different story. Okay, why not? We're talking about it. One time I was out at recess. This was probably 5th or 6th grade, probably 6th grade. And new in school again. And this girl walks right up to me, checker shirt, blue jeans, the type that will probably end up. Anyway, let's just say she was a tomboy and leave it at that. But I think she had another pal that they probably ended up, staying together. Both of those tomboys. Anyway, who knows? Anyway, they were bullies. You never know, and you never know what was going on at home that would make people so disturbed. Like, some kids you just remember, you just know they were troubled. You don't know it when you're a kid, though. You just say, "Why are you a jerk?" So this girl walks up to me and starts sassing me, and she's looking me right in the eye and giving me, well, I didn't know, but her little, lickety split friend came up behind me, and I guess um, they had planned this ahead of time. So the one in front of me shoves me, the one behind me shoves me. Now they're going back and forth, and I punched the one right in front of me. I think I nailed her pretty good, like right on the chest. I don't think I hit her on the face. It was a weird thing. And then, of course, they start spreading rumors. This new kid likes to pick on girls. And I said, no, no, no. The second that came back at me, some boy said, oh, so you like to pick on girls? I said, no, no, no. You hit girls. I said, no, I've never hit a girl in my life. Trust me, those two were not acting like girls whatsoever. Not even close. And then that diffused. See, that's what I usually would do. I could diffuse a situation by pointing out the ridiculousness and the silliness, which is kind of what I do now. Come to think of it, I still do that. It's a great way to like relieve uh, a stressful situation, comic relief, right? You know, or you get everyone laughing at the person that's trying to bully you. So like that the second I said, well, if they want to act like girls, I would treat them like girls. But when they start shoving you back and forth, you have a right to defend yourself. And bullies, right? They probably grew up to work on Facebook. Yeah, they would have liked that kind of person. Bullies. Bullies, but weaklings. Almost all bullies are weaklings. And sadly, a lot of them got bullied at home by their own parents, or maybe an older brother or something. But anyway, we as a free sovereign, crowned by God, with our little God sparks, right? We stand in the power that God says we have. And guess what, folks? None of the little liar or his minions can touch us, can harm us, right? Even if they kill us, who cares? I just go faster to paradise to spend eternity with Jesus the Christ. Now, I don't want to die because I know there's a lot more to achieve here, but I'm not afraid to. And when they see that in your eye and that you stand for what's right and you know the difference between good and evil, they scoot. And I'm talking in the worldly realms and in the spiritual realms. If you're a true God-loving spiritual warrior, you're like a lighthouse blasting Jesus, Jesus, Jesus all around you, and even in the dark where the demons live. Folks, they're real. They are real. They are what? Why do you think it's called spirits? Why do you think they call alcohol spirits? They tell us all their foolishness. They tell us the drunker you get, the more easily affected by the spirit world. And it isn't Michael and the good angels. Now, if you're lucky, they'll protect you and get you home safe. But you have to, you have to approach these things like alcohol is a medicine, cannabis is a medicine, tobacco is a medicine. It should be given great respect, and it should be used, if at all, in emergency situations. Like the native tribes that had tobacco, they didn't smoke it like a habit every day. They didn't. It was a great gift that was a peace offering or for certain ceremonies, it would be used. The peace pipe had a tobacco offering, and that would sign a. It was like an unwritten contract. You'd sign it by sharing tobacco with somebody. And alcohol and marijuana are the same thing. You shouldn't be using it every day like it's water. We need to respect these things and use them responsibly, moderately, and if you find you can't, then you're becoming a slave to something instead of being the master of it. Personally, anything that I used to smoke cigarettes, and once I realized what a slave I was, I had to stop it. I just couldn't, and I really enjoyed it, but 10 or 11 years ago, I quit. I have not had another one since. It was just realizing it was controlling me and it was ruining my health. For someone who likes to go hiking, go out there and get the fresh air halfway up the mountain, stop and have a cigarette. I think the fresh air just went away. Now, when I first started smoking, back when I was, maybe 17, 18, 19, something like that, I'd bring a cigar when I was camping, and it would keep mosquitoes away from you. But slowly but surely, I started taking some drags off the cigar instead of like you're supposed to just kind of let the smoke stay in your mouth. And that got me hooked on that. Oh, tobacco. Yeah. Nicotine is very addicting. Plus, they add a lot of chemicals to make it addicting even faster. So, in a way, smoking, drinking, weed, those are all bullies. They can become bullies if you don't treat it like a medicine. Like you wouldn't generally you take medicine, then you get better, then you don't keep taking like cough syrup. You don't keep taking cough syrup after you don't have a cough. But we keep chug-a-lugging. Some people have a beer or two. Yeah, right, and it ends up being a six-pack. And you know you're on a dangerous journey. All I'm saying is go and look in the mirror and say, XYZ, am I controlling it or is it beginning to control me? If it's becoming your slave master, then it's the bully. This is true for fear, sex, not just smoking and drinking. Just those can be obvious ones. Fear. That's actually a good one for right now. A lot of the bullies use fear, and a lot of the bullies live in fear. I mean, come on, the devil and his minions, they're totally fear-filled. They're angry, they're jealous, and they're fearful. Those are all from their master. They gave up on the true ruler and started getting sucked into the lies of the fake one, the imposter, the counterfeit, the little liar. He knows he's little, but he can't. He's got the ego out of control. He's totally left-braining it. He's totally animal. He's a beast, right? He's even called the beast in some parts of the Bible, or like a roaring lion looking to see who he can eat next. And that's us. He wants to ruin as many of us. He got a third of the angels. He couldn't even get a majority of them. And now he's trying to do that to us. So why let him? I say, be filled with joy. It really pisses off those wankers and liars and fact checkers. They hate our happiness. Roseanne Barr doing some stand-up again after 15 years after they friggin' attacked her like crazy and stole her intellectual rights and were very unforgiving towards her. And she's always done so much work for, equal rights for different color-skinned people. I think it's one race. I think we're all brothers and sisters. But these people obviously attacked her because she was saying good things about Donald Trump. That's what it was. And the mob mentality doesn't allow that because that's bullies. So, yeah, I think that covers that pretty good. But she said, yeah, what she said is, give me a second. Yeah, so she said what the comics generally do is they want to poke fun of the ridiculousness, and that when someone in power doesn't have a sense of humor about themselves, they're the most dangerous ones. And so now in these days, when it's so glaringly ridiculous, that's when it's even more important to stand up and mock them and laugh at them. You have to be filled with joy. As I say, it really irritates those little pricks when we are filled with true, honest, loving joy. Because I know no matter what they try to do, their lies are being exposed. This is the year of exposing their lies. So they're desperate because they've never had so many of us standing up against them before and popping their lie bubbles. So it's an incredible time, and I'm so glad that we are, reaching out. And thanks, Carol, who sent me a wonderful email the other day. That was so beautiful, and I just want to say it is so great to meet you. And yes, we've been meeting people all over the world who are like-minded and fierce and from all different walks of life. All kinds of different ideas that we're bringing into it. Like Charlie Ward says, it's like a giant puzzle, and we all bring our pieces. And if you don't have all the pieces to a puzzle, even one piece out of a puzzle, it doesn't look right. It kind of gets ruined without it. So we need everybody. All of us needs everyone, and everyone needs all of us. So soon where we're headed, there won't be bullies. There won't be any need because there won't be any of the evil left. And it will be in very tiny, safe pockets if it is left at all. I personally think this is going to be so amazing that you won't be able to be thinking about ripping someone off because the other person will know that you don't have their best you don't have their best. What am I trying to say? You don't have what's best for them in your heart. That's going to be broadcast like crazy because it will be so unusual when we are all reaching out to help one another and to bring wellness forth out into the land. Instead of just what can we take from it, we're going to be giving back to it as well. Because energetically, spiritually, however you want to say it, this is what we are. This is what sovereign members of mankind do. This is what we were created to be. This is what God says you are. Besides beautiful and wondrously made, you're a child of the creator of all things. You have the God spark inside you. Come on. Hallelujah. Come on. Don't be afraid to praise God. We love our Heavenly Papa. We love you, love you, love you. Jesus the Christ came and showed us how to walk. It's all in the four Gospels. John, Matthew, Mark, Luke. Check them out sometime. See what Jesus says. He won't guide you astray, and he will bring you peace. And it's not like a fake rose-colored glasses. It's not. Because we know we can overcome adversity. And we can heal people. And we can banish those little liars away. Isn't that? I mean, ask your heart if you're walking in the full power that God says you are meant to be walking in. And if you are not, if you think you might be able to walk a little stronger, a little better, help more people, heal others, heal yourself, that's amazing when you do that. And supernatural is going to be natural. Because that's our Papa. That's Papa. Supernatural is natural to God. Come on. He took a little bit of earth, blew into the clay, and up stepped Adam. You try that. But we're going to be able to do mighty things. Maybe not that. We're not God, okay? We're his kids. So you don't want to get that twisted, because that's what the liar does. I didn't say we're all gods. I said we all have the spark of God. But we still need to honor God and thank him. And that's fun too. That's really fun when you have 2 or 3 people or more all coming together and loving on Jesus. And then being kind to one another. It's fun. It's a lot more fun than getting drunk and have someone throw up on your shoes and then tell you they hate you 5 minutes later they love you. And then you got to like hide their keys because they're going to drive home and get killed on the way home. That's what people call fun right now because it's so twisted. It's such a liar's world. But we're kicking their asses and they know they're lost. They lost 2,000 years ago. The spirit knows it. The spirit world knows that. That's why they're so desperate to take as many. Every time they get us twisted and draw us away from our goodly, godly walk, they think they've won. That's what they consider. Think about what a demented existence that must be. You know you're so screwed up that the only thing you could try to do is get more of God's children screwed up like yourself. And then you win. That's bizarre. But I do tell people, we who walk, in the light, it's impossible, and that's a good thing. It's impossible to know just how evil these evil enemies are. And I'm not talking about just someone that's desperate and goes and robs a bank. That's bad. That's not necessarily evil. Now, if he stands there and shoots 7 people just for the sheer joy of it, that would be, that's evil. And if you harm children, I'm not the judge, but I can tell you the judge says it would have been better if you hadn't been born. So I'm kind of thinking, don't harm the kids. Of course, it's repulsive and revolting to us who live in the light to even hear these conversations about what they've done to our children. But that's going to end too, because you won't be able to think that way, and you won't want to think that way when we're living in the 100% light of love of Jesus the Christ. of Nazareth. So put your hand in the hand of the man who stilled the water, and put your hand in the hand of the man who calmed the seas. That song, it's so incredible. It was a big hit on the radio in the 70s. Anne Murray, a Canadian singer, who had a lot of big hits. But that song was all about God. Obviously, the man from Galilee is another line of it. So, yes, folks, there were great songs in the early 70s. I was a little kid, but I remember hearing them on the radio. And my parents didn't listen to like Christian rock or Christian channels. I don't even know if there was such a thing back then. Maybe there was, but we didn't listen to it. This was on like a pop channel, because then you'd have other just non-Christian songs. But there was a nun from Australia, and she did the Lord's Prayer to music. She played a guitar, and all the proceeds from that record went and helped poor people. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Bam, 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 bam. It was amazing. That was on the radio. It was a hit, a big hit. Go check that one out. Sister, hang on, I'll get her. Her name is Sister Mead, M-E-A-D, Sister Mead. The Lord's Prayer. Check it out. This is part of it. There's even a video, way before they were making videos. She recorded this. Heaven, our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Take it, sister. Oh, that's it. Don't want to run into trouble with the little creepy creepers that are going to be creeping and peeping at me on BoobTube. See, the hippies actually started as a Jesus movement. And then the CIA got involved and introduced a lot of drugs and acid into what became like the Grateful Dead San Francisco hippie music movement. And then because they saw how goodly godly it all was. And if you want to learn more about that, Charlie Freak has some really incredible, and Colleen, they have incredible information on their website. I think you can get a lot of those videos on a Freak Sense World. And then they're on Telegram too. Charlie Freak's on Telegram. I think Rumble. Of course, I think they canned them off from BoobTube. That's actually where I started calling it BoobTube, from them. So I hope that wasn't what got me nailed yesterday on that video. But anyway, so the video that got canned, that one's on Rumble and BitChute. And I put it on my Telegram channel, which is hikingdruid explores, like go explore the woods. Also on YouTube. Wow, it's really, I think 80 people or more have already watched it just from yesterday. That's exciting to me. I love it that people are finding it. Truth Social, I even posted it on Truth Social. And see, God always likes to do that twist, because the devil twists all of what God teaches. So God likes to take what the devil what he intended to twist and use against us and actually use it for our well-being. And he's doing this with this video. This is the video that was freedom of speech and then parenthesis, distractions and lies, and what to keep your eye on, or what we should keep our eye on, something like that. It was yesterday. Today is the 16th. Yeah, today is February 16th, 2023. And so that video was posted February 15th, Wednesday, 2023. I keep forgetting. I always used to say the date I was doing the videos, and then I've forgotten to do that for the last large number of them. But yeah, he's actually, this video is getting more people watching it, I think because, you know, so many of us have been censored that we are like rallying around it when people get censored. But you see, I'm on so many, and Rumble, did I mention I'm on Rumble? Those are all hiking druid channels. Telegram. Yeah, I said Telegram. Okay. So anyway, so the thing is, they're chasing us all to these other channels, and like there's a lot of people that won't even go on YouTube. So I can't just post it. People say, well, you have to post it on YouTube because that's where all the people are. Not the ones that want to see what we're talking about. Of course, you want to get the information to people who are just realizing now how much screwiness there is in the world. And then you can open their eyes more with the information that a lot of us truth seekers have been digging up over the last few years, or 10 or 20. So yeah, I think that's good. I covered enough bases. My main thing was bullying, and it's amazing that the people who go on and on and on about bullying are the most eager to allow the bullies to do what they say they hate so much. But see, when the bully is defending your point of view, it's easy to just say, oh, that's good, because they're supporting what we believe. Well, if the bully is going against you, then you see them squealing like a poked pig. I mean, this is what happened, right, when Elon Musk got Twitter back. I've been washed out since the Great Purge of 2020, the October Purge, when too many of us were talking and exposing about the fake machines and the cheat machines, and we were exposing that ahead of time. We knew that had happened before, so it happened in the midterms, 2018, and it actually happened in 2016, but anyway, it's a long story, and it's not talking about bullies. Bullies are the main flavor of this video. Anytime you want to see how to defend freedom, it goes along with standing up to bullies. Every time people didn't stand up to bullies, the tyrants won. But when the tyrants attack people who are standing for freedom, it has a way of spreading like wildfire to other people who are disgusted that the tyrants use their force against unarmed people. Now, of course, in this country, a lot of us are very armed, multi-armed, and are good shots. So you Marxists should think about that too. You'll never take this country, ever. There's not enough of you, and there's less of you all the time because your leaders are gone. Where are your leaders? Where are they? Gee, they look a lot different now, don't they? They have flaps of their neck flopping up while they're talking. or watching State of the Unions. And they look so different, don't they? And all of a sudden, some of them start saying true things that you weren't used to hearing. Gee, what's going on? That's weird. It's called the Great Awakening. Welcome. We love you. We love you. The spirit of goodness and righteousness, true righteousness, not fake, looking down your nose type self-righteousness, but real, what is right, walking the straight and narrow trail, doing what's good, standing tall and bold in the eye of the hurricane, standing up to the bullies, standing up to the liars, standing up to the minions with resolve, with joy, because we know, not only we know who we are, but we know whose we are. And I am not a slave to any man, but I am a loving servant of King Jesus, the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, the Prince of Peace. You can take your liar, your fake one, your fallen angel. You can have him. I feel sorry for you. And it's hilarious what antics you do to try to get us tricked. But guess what? For every one you trick, I can pull 50 or 100 or 1,000 back to Papa, because they see my honesty. And people don't like your lies. They don't like your lies once they realize you've lied to them. Okay, so all right, guys, I'm going to get going. Be good. Keep your eyes on the truth and get ready. Be patient as people coming and asking, and you might have figured this out 3 years ago. Take deep breaths. Be kind. Help steer them towards fall of the cabal. There's some Tartaria information that's interesting. Things that can make you say, what? Without actually, putting you into full tilt. You don't want people to necessarily get so overwhelmed that they don't talk to you again. That's not what you want. You want them to come and know that you are a calm and knowledgeable person who dwells in the light, and they'll see it. And make sure you look in their eyes. We all have a habit of looking away from each other. That's not by accident. Look people right in the eye. The eye, as Jesus teaches us, is the window to our soul. And you can see if someone's a liar. If they don't look you in the eye, if they keep looking away, you know they're not telling you the truth. Also, pupils dilating right as someone's talking to you, and the light didn't change. That tells you they're lying, because that is the window to your soul. Isn't that interesting? Keep reading the labels. We don't want them to keep slipping crickets into our diets, but there's a lot worse things than that they already do put in. High fructose corn syrup. Keep an eye on that. It shouldn't be the second or third ingredient. If corn syrup's in something like candy, it still shouldn't be the first or second ingredient. But high fructose corn syrup's deadly. Okay, so go look into that. I'm going to make a video about high fructose corn syrup. I keep talking about it in videos that have nothing to do with food, but everything has to do with how we treat our temple, right? And how much we allow other people to toxify us. I mean, it's one thing for years when we trusted the government. We believed what We believed the manufacturing companies. We believed the FDA. We didn't realize all the kickback paddywhacks, all the special interests, and all the chemical companies that want to get rid of all their chemicals without having to pay someone to carry it away. So they devised food colorings and flavors and preservatives. Those are almost always petroleum byproducts, chemical factory byproducts, things they used to have to try to figure out how to throw away. They sell it to us as food, folks. Not to even get started on the flavorings that have stem cell research lines in them. Flavorings from babies. They're laughing at us, those sick pricks. They're laughing at us. So it's our turn to laugh at them. No matter how vile they get, let God take care of them in the afterlife. But as Putin says, he doesn't decide who goes to heaven or who goes to hell, but he knows someone that will do it for him. And we all do. See, we're not the judges. We're our brother's keepers, our sister's keepers. We're not their judges. They and God, me and God, you and God. It's always between each of us and God. Now, yes, you protect your children. Yes, you protect your wife. Yes, you protect your family. Just like we protect our freedom, we protect our civilization, we protect, our Constitution. Yes, yes, because that's God's law that most of the Constitution is based on. Contrary to popular worldly belief being taught in our schools, it is based, it's demonstrable, it's factual, it's the truth. It's based on Judeo-Christian teachings. And also, our ancestors were very wise. Those patriots were very studious, and they had read a lot of different, so they knew about Athens and Sparta and Rome. Okay, but all in all, a lot of their law systems is also based on Judeo-Christian values now, and even in the 1800s. So, have at you. Have a great day. Have a great night. Do good deeds. Help one another. And don't be bullied or enslaved by liars or their lies. And if you want to know the truth, check out what Jesus says about it. Or go to not Genesis, Exodus. Anyway, read the 10 Commandments. That's what God says is the truth. All right? It's pretty easy, 10. You can memorize those. 6-year-olds can memorize them. Check it out. It's always good for a refresher. The 10 Commandments. You could start there. Or Psalm 91. Check that out. Psalm 91. That's in the Old Testament. Or Matthew, Mark, Luke, John. Any of those. All right. Thanks for watching. I love you. Check out the link right below this video, and you can get yourself a free guide to keeping you and your family's immune systems powerful, and learn more about how these natural herbs and plants can be harvested all around us. Okay, I'm Andrew, the Hiking Druid. I love you. Don't forget, the creator of all things, says you are the apple of his eye, our window to our souls. So it must be his window to the truth, which is what he is. I love you and I thank you again. And we're going to keep standing tall, and we're going to keep pushing those bullies back until they leave us alone. And just wait and see what gets revealed this year, because God has some big, awe-inspiring truths to share with us, so that we will not be ensnared by the lies any longer. That's not how we're supposed to live our lives. It's exciting. It's going to get better and better. Things are not getting worse. We're just seeing how evil things were for so long. That's what's happening. All right. I'll talk to you again tomorrow. Stay strong. Stay loving. Try to help out your neighbors, especially old neighbors. And you might actually learn something from them too. All right. I'll see you soon. Thanks again.